The government warned us never to let aliens try cross-species reproduction, so why was she begging me to help her? My name is Elias Rhun, and until last night, I thought the most dangerous thing about my job was the daily commute through the orbital elevator. I lived on level 12 of Halcyon Habitat, a floating city of glass and magnetic pathways suspended 50 kilometers above the Pacific. Everything here was engineered: gravity, weather, even daylight cycles. Nothing unpredictable ever happened in Halcyon. Nothing was supposed to. Which is why the knock on my door at 2:13 should have been impossible. I opened it and saw Catherine standing there, my assigned xenobiology roommate, her silver irises trembling like fractured lenses. Her species didn't tremble. They didn't even display fear naturally. But her hands were shaking so badly the lights embedded in her skin flickered in uneven patterns. I'd never seen that before. "Elias," she whispered, breath unsteady. "I need your help." I stared at her, half asleep, half convinced this was some kind of hallucination. Catherine never asked for help. Ever. The government classified her people as self-stabilizing biosapients. They regulated their own organs, their own hormones, even their own immune responses. Asking a human for assistance was like a shark asking a goldfish for medical advice. "What happened?" I asked. She stepped inside without waiting for permission, the door sliding shut behind her. The room dimmed automatically, the Habitat AI recognizing after curfew lighting. She didn't care. She moved with rapid, frantic precision, scanning corners, checking shadows, checking the windows as if expecting someone to burst through them. "They're coming," she whispered. My heart punched against my ribs. "Who's coming?" She lifted her wrist, revealing a small chitin-like device embedded into her forearm. It was cracked, no, shattered, from the inside. A biological implant broken under strain. Impossible. Her species grew those implants as part of puberty. They weren't supposed to break. "This is my reproductive stabilizer," she said. "It malfunctioned." I ran both hands through my hair, trying to process. "Wait. Those things regulate your genome, right? Like they keep you from entering spontaneous genetic selection cycles." She swallowed, voice tight. "From triggering a reproductive cascade." I froze. A cascade. I'd only heard the term once, during onboarding. It was whispered like a horror story. Her species, the Dallon, weren't mammals, reptiles, insects, or anything humans could categorize. Their reproduction wasn't sexual, it was adaptive. They absorbed environmental DNA to select traits for their offspring. The government put strict laws in place to prevent exactly one thing: a Dallon using a human's DNA for genetic adaptation. It wasn't sex. It wasn't even intimacy. It was survival-driven, involuntary, and catastrophic. If a Dallon entered a cascade near a human, their bodies could instinctively pull human DNA sequences into their development cycle. And no one knew what that would produce. "You know the law," I whispered. "Cross-species adaptation is banned. They'll take you into containment." She nodded, trembling. "They already know. My stabilizer pinged the council 6 minutes ago. I have 12 minutes until a seizure team arrives." 12 minutes. 12 minutes before they dragged her away. 12 minutes before she disappeared into some black site lab, never to return. "Elias," she breathed. "I don't want to become a government experiment. I don't want them rewriting my genome in a containment tank. I need you." "Need me for what?" I whispered. "To override the cascade." I blinked. "Override? How?" She stepped closer, the lights under her skin pulsing in a rhythmic pattern I'd never seen, like tidal waves rolling under translucent glass. She wasn't glowing from embarrassment or emotion. This was something deeper. Something biological. "My species adapts to the strongest stabilizing signal in proximity," she said. "A genetic anchor. If I input a controlled external pattern, I can halt the cascade." "What pattern?" "You." I stepped back as if the floor had opened beneath me. "Me? Catherine, I'm human. My genome isn't compatible. It's not about compatibility, she urged. It's about stability. Your DNA doesn't merge with mine. It just gives my body a fixed point to lock onto. A reference. Without it, the cascade keeps expanding until it consumes everything. And what does that mean? Her expression flickered with fear. It means I die. Silence thickened around us like smoke. Catherine, I said, voice thin. How do I even do that? She hesitated. Direct contact. I grimaced. Define contact. Not intimacy, she said, reading my panic. Nothing forbidden. My body reads microfields, thermal signatures, electromagnetic pulses, heartbeat rhythms. The cascade needs a pattern to sync with. A living anchor. My heartbeat thudded harder. So you want me to stand close to you? Not close. Her voice cracked. Connected. She lifted her hands, shaking, glowing, terrified, and placed them against her own chest. I need to touch you. Skin to skin. Long enough for my body to map your pattern. My throat tightened. Not because of fear. Because of trust. Catherine, I whispered. Are you sure this won't trigger the adaptation we're trying to avoid? Her eyes softened, desperation melting into something fragile. Elias, you are the only person I trust not to take advantage of me. And the only one my body reads as safe. My chest tightened. Then the habitat lights flickered, once, twice, before a cold voice echoed through the room. Security priority alert. Unauthorized outlawed genomic activity detected on level 12. She flinched. They're early. My instincts surged. Okay. Tell me what to do. She stepped closer, so close I could feel the faint heat radiating through her bioluminescent veins. Her breathing hitched. Not sexually. Biologically. Her body was fighting itself. Give me your hands. I did. She pressed my palms to the sides of her neck, where the glowing patterns concentrated like circuits overloaded with energy. Her skin was warm, too warm. She exhaled, shaken. Now stay completely still. Let your rhythm stabilize mine. My rhythm? I whispered. But then I felt it, a vibration under her skin, pulsing rapidly like a heartbeat trying to outrun death. She shut her eyes, body trembling as her pulse attempted to sync with mine. Her light flared, then dimmed, then flared again. Not working. Her cascade was accelerating. Elias, she gasped. Your focus. I need your focus. I swallowed hard and leaned in, steadying her with both hands. I'm here. I'm right here. Her body jerked. The lights under her skin burst into chaotic spirals. She cried out, knees buckling. I caught her. The door AI chimed behind us. Security breach protocol initiated. Level quarantine commencing. Catherine, I whispered urgently. We're out of time. Her eyes snapped open, glowing like molten silver. Then anchor me now, she whispered. Or I won't survive the next 60 seconds. Her body surged with unstable light. And then, she screamed. Catherine's scream wasn't human. It sounded like glass fracturing underwater, like something ancient breaking open. Light flooded her skin in violent pulses, flaring down her arms, her spine, her throat. I held her upright, but it felt like gripping a live reactor. Catherine, stay with me, I whispered, voice cracking. She convulsed again, her fingers clawing into my shoulders as if anchoring herself physically while her biology tore itself apart internally. The glow intensified so sharply the entire room lit up in sweeping bands of silver white. It's accelerating too fast, she gasped. My stabilizer, Elias, it's gone. There's nothing regulating the cascade now. The walls around us shifted to emergency crimson as the habitat AI engaged hard lockdown. A metallic screech echoed down the hall, security meches deploying. Not human officers. Machines built for containment. Built for force. Built for control. Catherine, they're almost here. She pressed her forehead to my shoulder, trembling violently. I know. A tremor rippled through her chest, and her breath hitched with a sound that terrified me more than anything else: helplessness. This woman who once lifted a collapsible steel bed with one hand now sagged against me, every muscle failing. "Tell me what to do," I said. "Tell me how to anchor you." "You can't," she whispered. "Not like this. My body's rejecting stabilization." She tried to step back, but her legs collapsed, and I caught her again, lowering her carefully to the floor. Her palms slapped the ground, glowing circuits racing across her skin like a map of exploding stars. The light was no longer rhythmic. It was chaotic, panicked. Her cascade was destabilizing. "Catherine," I whispered, kneeling in front of her. "Look at me." Her eyes flickered open, pupils fractured into shimmering shards. "Elias, leave me. Now. Before they see you touching me. They'll assume contamination." I didn't move. Couldn't. "Look at me," I repeated, louder this time. Her gaze locked on mine. "You said if your body finds a stabilizing pattern, it can anchor. So we'll make it find one." "How?" she rasped, voice trembling. "I'm losing coherence." I took her hands. Both of them. The moment our skin touched, her glow flared in a surge that made the air feel heavier, like the pressure inside a storm. She gasped, her breath catching as though something inside her shifted. "Elias," she whispered, "what are you doing?" "Giving your body something to choose," I said. "A fixed pattern." "Mine." She stared at me, eyes wide, terrified, and something else, something that made the air between us sharpen. "Humans aren't stable enough," she whispered. "You're forgetting something important," I said, leaning closer so she couldn't look away. "Humans adapt." A shudder rippled through her. Her fingers tightened instinctively around mine, light blooming between them like bioluminescent threads weaving into the air. For a heartbeat, just one, the glow steadied. Her breath softened. The cascade paused. Then, a heavy metallic thud echoed from the hallway. Catherine flinched. The glow spiraled violently again. "Security containment unit approaching," the Habitat AI announced. "Residents, please remain stationary." Catherine tore her hands from mine, panic slicing through her voice. "They'll stun you. They'll categorize you as part of the contamination environment. Elias, you'll be taken too. Not if I stop them. You can't fight a containment unit," she hissed. "They're immune to physical force." "I don't need to fight them," I said. "I just need to buy you time." She shook her head so hard her braids scattered light like crystal shards. "No. Elias, listen to me. If you leave my proximity now, the cascade spikes again. I'll lose structural integrity." "Then tell me what to do," I said. "Fast." She hesitated, one breath, one heartbeat, then lifted her trembling hands and pressed them to the sides of my face. Cold sparks danced down my jaw. "What?" "Stay still," she whispered, eyes glowing brighter. "I'm syncing your neural pattern to mine. Not DNA, mind state. A temporary resonance. It will let your presence override the cascade more strongly." "That's a thing?" I asked. "It's forbidden. But it's our only chance." Footsteps thudded down the hall. Loud. Metallic. Getting closer. Catherine inhaled sharply, her fingers trembling against my skin. "Focus on me. Not the noise. Not the fear. Focus on my voice." I swallowed hard. "I am." Her breath warmed. "Good. Hold still." Light flowed from her hands into my temples, cold and electric. It felt like a ripple passing through my neurons, aligning my thoughts into something sharper, steadier, unfamiliar. Not merging, sinking. "Elias," she whispered, "I'm going to initiate the anchor sequence." "What does that mean?" Before I could finish, she exhaled a slow, trembling breath, and the glow around her exploded outward in a soft wave. Her forehead touched mine. My breath caught. Time didn't freeze, it thickened. The world around us blurred into a muted hum, and all I could hear was the sound of her breathing. Then, A sensation like a heartbeat that wasn't mine pulsed against my skull. Catherine, I whispered. I feel. Don't analyze it, she murmured. Just breathe. Your pattern is stabilizing the cascade. Her light dimmed, once, twice, settling into a slow, rhythmic pulse. Her hands moved from my face to my shoulders, gripping them tightly as if grounding herself. It's working, she breathed. Elias, it's working. Another thud echoed down the corridor. The containment unit stopped outside my door, heavy gears whirring. Catherine stiffened. No. They're here. Elias, break the link, now. I'm not leaving you. You have to. No, I said, gripping her arms, grounding her. They're not taking you. They will kill you if they think you're interfering. I don't care. Her eyes widened, fear, confusion, something rawer than both. Elias. The containment door shear activated, slicing sparks through the air as it began cutting through the lock. Catherine's breath turned shallow. The glow around her faltered. Elias, I'm losing sync. Then focus on me, I whispered. Her light flickered weakly. She shook her head, tears starting to form behind her luminous eyes. Elias, I'm scared. It was the first time she'd ever said it. I pulled her into my arms. Her body, trembling and burning with unstable light, curled into me instinctively. The glow surged, then softened, then steadied. The cascade slowed. Her pulse synced to mine. And her breathing evened. My door lock snapped. The containment unit forced its way inside. Metal. Cold. Expressionless. Catherine clung to me. I held her tighter. The lead mech scanned us, its mechanical voice monotone. Unauthorized stabilization attempt detected. Human subject, Elias Rhun. You are hereby. But then the mech paused. Its lights flickered. It recalculated. Alert, it said. Pattern interference. The lawn cascade showing unexpected suppression. Human anchor sequence detected. Catherine tensed. I did too. The mech leaned forward. New directive, capture both subjects for immediate study. Catherine inhaled sharply. I stood up slowly, moving in front of her. They're not taking you, I whispered again. The mech extended a containment claw. Catherine's trembling hand reached for mine behind my back. Elias, she whispered. I won't let them take you either. Then her light surged. Not chaotic. Controlled. Focused. For the first time since the cascade began. The containment claw froze mid-extension as Catherine rose behind me, her glow sharpening into a steady, deliberate radiance. It was no longer frantic, no longer chaotic. It was intentional. Her eyes, once fractured silver, narrowed with a clarity that sent a chill down my spine. Elias, she whispered. Step back. No. Please. Her voice shook, not with fear, but with something dangerously close to resolve. I'm stabilized enough to stand. But you're still within the cascade's influence. I'm not leaving you, I said, refusing to move. The mech processed our proximity again. Warning, genetic interference remains active. Separation recommended. Forced extraction will commence. Catherine inhaled sharply. Forced extraction will trigger a rupture. The mech paused. Define rupture. Genomic blowback, she said. If I'm removed from my anchor too soon, the cascade collapses internally. I'll fragment. Fragment. I felt her hand tremble against my back. The mech word. Risk assessment updated. The lawn subject must remain intact for study. Extraction parameters adjusting. My species is not your experiment. Catherine snapped, stepping fully into view. The mech rotated its sensor module toward her. The lawn subject, be advised, resistance will result in. She raised her hand. Not aggressively, but with devastating calm. Light condensed around her palm, gathering in a swirling pattern like a miniature nebula forming from her skin. Her voice dropped, steady and low. You will not take him. The mech sized her up, calculating probabilities. The lawn energy output unstable. Lethal detonation risk. Kethrie's glow flared, bright enough to paint metallic reflections across the walls. Then step back. Negative. Containment priority remains. My pulse hammered. Kethri, stop. You'll escalate again. No. She looked at me over her shoulder, expression taut with something heartbreakingly human. This time, I am in control. The mech advanced. I pulled Kethri behind me on instinct. She pulled me behind her on instinct. We collided, breathless. The mech aimed a stun lance. Final warning. Kethrie's light surged into a focus beam, not outward, but upward, straight into the ceiling sensor node. Sparks exploded. The lights died. The mech staggered, systems glitching. Its containment claw retracted in a violent twitch. She'd hit its sensory core. Not enough to destroy it, but enough to blind it. It reeled, stumbling as its voice distorted. Vision compromised, recalibrating. Elias, she whispered urgently. Now. She grabbed my wrist and pulled me toward the balcony. I stared at the transparent barrier. We're 50 kilometers above the ocean. There's an emergency descent pod 2 floors down, she said. Maintenance access shaft. We can reach it before the unit recalibrates. Behind us, the mech twitched violently, small sparks spraying from its joints. We have 30 seconds, she whispered. Her grip tightened. I trust you, I said. Her glow softened, not dimmed, just gentled, like the first calm after a storm. She pressed her hand to the balcony's biometric lock. The glass slid open, revealing a narrow maintenance ledge shivering in the high-altitude wind. The mech lurched behind us. Subjects attempting escape. Lethal force authorized. Kethri didn't hesitate. She stepped onto the ledge, pulling me with her, holding my wrist so tightly her bioluminescent patterns wrapped around my skin like living light. Jump, she said. What? Jump where? She leaned close, forehead nearly touching mine, her voice a trembling whisper carried by the wind. You anchored me. Now let me save you. A metallic blast fired behind us, scorching the doorway. No time. No choices. Just one impossible leap. Together we jumped. Wind roared around us as we plummeted between the habitat's levels, metal platforms rushing past in a blur. Kethri wrapped both arms around me, shielding me from the turbulence, her glow streaking through the darkness like a falling star. There! She shouted over the wind. A circular hatch opened automatically, emergency detection reading our descent. The pod interior gleamed with soft blue emergency lights. We fell straight into it. The hatch slammed shut. Silence snapped into place. I gasped for breath. Kethri collapsed against me, her glow flickering softly but steadily. Her forehead rested against my chest, trembling with aftershocks of exhaustion. You're alive, I whispered. So are you, she murmured. The pod lights brightened. A calm voice spoke. Descent pod activated. Destination, surface ocean. Estimated arrival, 6 minutes. Kethri lifted her head. Her breathing steadied. Then her eyes softened, really softened, for the first time since the cascade began. Elias, she whispered. Thank you? For what? For choosing me, when you didn't have to. The pod plunged downward. Government alarms screamed above us. But for the first time all night, Kethri wasn't glowing from fear. She was glowing from relief. Maybe even something more.